Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. About a week ago or so, I made a video talking about how the left is seeming to turn against Joe Biden. They don't like him all of a sudden. In fact, there's been some very far left pro-Biden supporters online openly say that they would vote for Trump against Biden. Freudian slip there. Biden, not because they like Trump, it's because they're sick and tired of Biden. I did it again. They're sick and tired of Biden, and they want him out. We're seeing a shift. Now, going along with that, this whole border crisis has gotten, well, it's continually getting worse. I know that everyone has been distracted by what's going on in Israel and Gaza, by what's going on in other places, you know, with China and Xi Jinping meeting with Biden and all this kind of stuff. But the stuff that's happened at the border has not improved. There's videos pretty much daily. If you want to get on and really look, there's videos just about daily of massive amounts of illegals coming across the border. And I believe that I know that there's a plan, but I believe that we may be seeing some parts of that plan. You see, like I've said for years now, the elites, the globalists, the World Economic Forum people, the UN Agenda 2030 people, they are desperately wanting all of this big technology, and they're wanting to be able to control every aspect of your life. Through all of the technology that they're developing. But they have to have a way to implement it. And in some countries it's easy because, you know, the dictator or the one in charge just says it. But in America, you have to be a little careful because Americans, you know, regardless of left or right, you know, we believe in this thing called freedom, liberty, and we can protest and, you know, vote someone out of office. So they have to do it in a certain way. And I've heard many people over the last few years say that there's no way that they'll get past, you know, they'll be able to pass congressionally central bank digital currencies or digital IDs or digital passports or digital, you know, vaccination identification and all these kinds of things. Because the people just aren't going to stand for it. But what happens when the people desperately want it, when they demand it? And I think we're starting to see something take place. We're watching over the last couple of weeks of even the left get sick and tired and see the danger of all of these illegals pouring across the border. In fact, there was a delegation of left-leaning Democrats that have requested a meeting with Biden about the border crisis, and Biden has refused to meet with them. It was reported in the last few days at some event, I don't know which one, that Obama was at, and Obama snubbed Biden. He just wouldn't even have anything to do with him. We're seeing, like I said, more and more on the left. In fact, I believe it was the former DNC chairwoman said that Biden is too old. He needs to be out. He's too old to run again. Several people are making this statement. Now, here's what I suspect could be happening. Biden, whether knowingly or not, is being set up to have to fall on the sword to get all of this stuff, all of this World Economic Forum, Big Brother 1984 stuff implemented. You see, by allowing all of these illegals to pour across the border, and in fact encourage them, they really are. They're making it easy on them. And just the other day, it was reported that Border Patrol caught a known terrorist, someone on the terrorist watch list, crossing the border, and then released him. And now with everything going on with Israel and Hamas and that kind of heating up and becoming more profound, especially between, the violence against Jews and the protest with the pro-Palestinians, we're seeing people start to say, hey, you know, this whole thing with people just pouring across the border is not really a good idea. You know, look at all these terrorists, look at all these people that hate the West, that hate Jews that want to destroy us. We're getting back to that time, in the early 2000s after 9/11, that we can't have this happening, and yet it still is. And so what I suspect could be happening is they're allowing all of this massive migration into our country, knowing that it's going to be bad. They know that there's no way around it, whether it's violence or strain on our infrastructure and our systems and everything. It's going to be bad. And at some point, there will be such an outcry from both the left and the right, because the right has already been saying it, that they'll say, okay, we'll do something about the border, but we've got 10 million people that's come into the country this year. We can't. It's just not feasibly possible to round them all up. And I know that all of you people are saying that we've got to do something, that there's all these illegals running around, there's potential terrorists, all of these bad people, and we got to keep track of them. So, if we implement digital identifications and RFIDs and digital currencies and all of these things, then that will fix the problem. We'll be able to keep track of them. We'll be able to monitor them, know where they're at. They're already issuing federal IDs to the illegals coming across the border. I don't know if you've seen that, but their actual federal identification, they kind of look like a driver's license, except they're just a federal ID card. And who knows how those will be used to potentially get these people registered to vote and stuff like that. I mean, if they can do all the stuff they did the last election, I'm sure they can do that with the millions of illegals poured into the country. But what I believe is a possibility, and this is just a theory, so if it's wrong, it's wrong, but throat's a little dry, sorry. It's just sparkling water. I know. Some of you think that's gross, and I don't care. I like it. What I believe is a possibility here is that they've purposely allowed all these illegals to cross the border and get it to the point to where most all of the country, left and right, are fed up. Biden's poll numbers are down. His poll numbers are down because how he's handling the Israel Gaza thing. His poll numbers are down because of the economy. His poll numbers are down because of all these illegals pouring across the country. And the solution to all of this is going to be this great reset. Well, yes, it's terrible now. It's awful. But here's the solution. The economy's bad, the dollar's losing value, inflation is skyrocketing, interest rates are up. But if we transition to a digital currency, then we'll be able to more tightly control the value of the currency. And so we're not going to have all of this inflation. And we understand we have all these illegals that's pouring into the country, and some of them are potential terrorists, and they're potentially going to do bad things and hurt us and do all these scary things. But if we implement digital IDs to where we can give everyone this, and we can track who's the good guys and bad guys and make sure that the bad guys aren't doing bad things, then that'll keep us safe too. So I think we're seeing a narrative potentially. Again, this is just theory, but we're seeing kind of a narrative being built to where the majority of Americans will take a side, be kind of unified in the fact that we've got to do something about this crisis. This has been allowed to happen. You're seeing all of these big liberal cities that were at one time saying, if you're illegal, you can come to our city, and we won't, these sanctuary cities where, we won't turn you in, we won't do anything about you because you're illegal. Now they're saying, don't come here, stop sending them here, where New York is cutting back on police and all this other stuff because they can't afford it, they're saying. They're saying that the cost to take care of these illegals are millions and millions of dollars a day. Chicago's doing the same thing. You can look at LA and San Francisco, all these other big cities. In Texas, it's the same thing. They're trying to figure out what to do with all of them. It's starting to become a crisis pretty quickly. And, you know, in another 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, how bad of a crisis will it be? Well, quite a bit. I mean, look at how bad it's gotten in the last, 6 or 9 months. And the possibility, like I said, of them saying, okay, we can fix this. We have a solution. I know we created the problem, but we have a solution also. And our solution is all of this advanced technology to track. I mean, they're not going to say that. They'll wrap it up in a nice, pretty bow to sell it to people. That it's to make us safe. It's to safeguard our finances. It's to safeguard our whole system and criminal system and everything. That if we do this, then we'll be able to keep track of them. We'll be able to keep track of the people coming across the border more better. The illegals and stuff. We'll be able to identify threats. But we're going to have to switch over to this new technology where we're facial recognition everywhere. Everywhere you go to, if you go buy a soda, it's going to scan your face. I was watching a video, some of you've seen it, I'm sure, in China, that even like a vending machine, you go and you buy a soda from a vending machine, and it uses facial recognition scanning. And if you've been a good person, you get one price. If you've been a bad person and you have a bad social credit score, now you have to pay a different price. All of this kind of stuff. This kind of stuff is going to be implemented. It's being pushed very hard all around the world. And America's one of the few places that's kind of pushed back on it, or that it's at least slow at implementing it. And I've said all along, there's going to have to be a crisis. There's going to have to be a crisis. That's how Americans are. If there was some kind of crisis that got all the people terrified, then they would accept all of this Big Brother 1984 baloney. And it's very possible that that's what's happening with these illegals pouring across. Like I said, I know that everyone's focus is on various other things right now, but I'm telling you, as things get worse, could there be some type of terrorist attacks and infrastructure attacks? And I mean, there already has been on a smaller scale, at least violent attacks towards people. And then they say, well, this guy was illegal, this guy did this, and now we've got to lock things down. Now we've got to implement all of this plan to safeguard and protect the American people. Not saying that it's absolutely going to happen, but it's a theory, and I think that we're starting to see it kind of play out. So when you see people, even on the left, start to lose faith in Biden, purposely saying it now, don't get all your hopes up, because I think it's all for a plan. I think they're going to somehow have Biden fall on the sword, and then whoever else takes his place, whether it's Trump or Newsom or Mike Obama or whatever, they'll have a solution. They'll have a solution, and they'll implement it, and everything will be great and safe, except we won't have any more freedoms. Which is why you need to be getting your houses in order, why you need to be stocking up, prepping up, praying up, training up. Because the world has changed. It's not going to. It already has. We're now living in the aftermath as it worsens. So be preparing yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.